Hello all. We are going through the course Basic Electrical Engineering, which is offered in both BTU and RTO for all the students of BTech first year. We are following the unit number 1, which is DC circuits. In this lecture, we are going to cover Norton's theorem. Norton's theorem, given by Edward Laurie Norton, which is an American engineer and scientist. This theorem is a circuit analysis technique that is similar to the Thevenin's theorem, which we have already gone through. By using this theorem, we reduce the circuit to a single current source and one parallel resistor, which is also known as shunt resistor. So, in a typical definition, what we can say, any linear bilateral network may be reduced to a simplified two-terminal circuit consisting of a single current source and a single shunt resistor. Shunt means parallel resistor. Okay, so here suppose that this is the considered load, and what we are going to do, we are going to simplify the rest of the circuit by using Norton's theorem. So what will happen? All these elements will be finally converted into a current source with a shunt resistor. So two things are required over here. One is Norton current, another is Norton resistor. So what is the step to find Norton's current? So first of all, identify and remove the load from the circuit. Like in this case, if this is the load, so we have to remove this load from the circuit. And then label the resulting two terminals. Here we'll have two terminals, so we have to label it by any name. Generally, it is preferred to give A, B, any X, Y, any name we can give. We are free to choose any name. Okay. Then after, this is a very important point, short circuit the node A and B. We have to short circuit this. Okay. And after short circuiting, we are going to find out short circuit current by using any method, KCL, KVL, node analysis, mesh analysis, superposition. So here, after short circuiting, we have to find out the current through it. Since we have short circuited, so this current will be known as short circuit current, and this short circuit current is typically the Norton current. So this is the method by which we can calculate the value of Norton's current. Now, how we can find out Norton resistance? So, whatever steps I'm going to tell, it is exactly same as what we have studied in Thevenin's theorem. But remember, these steps are applicable only for the circuit having independent sources. If there is a one or more than one dependent source, we can't apply this rule. So in case of independent sources based circuit, firstly identify and remove the load from the circuit, then label the resulting two terminals. We have already done it. Label the terminal's name, that is node's name, and set all sources in the circuit to 0. All independent sources in the circuit to 0. That means all voltage sources will be short circuited and all current sources will be open circuited. Okay, then after we have to see the resistance between terminal A and B. Whatever resistance will be seen from the two terminals, that is going to be the Norton resistor. Now let's solve this numerical. Determine the Norton equivalent circuit external to the resistor RL in the given circuit, and then calculate the current through this. It means our concern load is RL. So what we have to do? Firstly, remove this load from the circuit. Okay, we have to remove this circuit. What basically we are going to do? First of all, we are calculating IN, Norton current. Okay, so the first step is we have to remove the load, and the moment we'll remove the load, we'll have two terminals and give the name of the two terminals. Here it is given A and B. Now short circuit these two terminal A and B, and then after try to find out the value of this ISC, and we know that IN, this Norton current, will be equal to this short circuit current. Okay, so we can find out this value ISC in so many different ways. Firstly, let's see it by nodal analysis method. Okay, so what we are applying? We are applying nodal analysis. Okay, so in case of nodal analysis, firstly what we have to do? We have to define a reference node. So I am assuming this as a reference node. Okay, then set the name of the terminal. Here already A has been given to name of this terminal. Now I am giving the name of this node as X, and associated voltage will be Vx. The name of this node is A, and associated voltage will be Va. Okay, so what we can write? At node X, Vx will be equal to 20 volt. Why? Because this node is directly connected with the voltage source, and its positive terminal is connected to the X, and that's why the value of this Vx will be plus 20 volt. So this is the equation number 1. Now at node A, what is the value of Va? So Va is equal to 0. Why 0? Because E is directly connected to the reference node through this short circuit wire, and that's why potential, we know that the reference potential is 0, and that's why the potential of Va will be equal to 0 volt. So this is equal to 0 volt. Now do one thing, apply KCL to node A. Why? Because we have to find out current. Okay, so as per the nodal analysis, at a node we can easily apply KCL. So the moment we'll apply KCL, I'm marking this current equal to I1. This current is known to us. This is ISC, and this current is I. Okay, so if we'll apply KCL to node A, then what we can write? I is the incoming current, and I1 is the outgoing current. So let me say this is the I1. So I1 is the incoming current, so it will be positive. I is the outgoing current, this I, so it will be negative, and again this ISC is outgoing current, so this will be negative. So this is going to be equal to 0. Okay, so what is the value of I1? I1 will be equal to Vx minus 0 upon 24 minus value of I equal to 2 minus ISC is equal to 0. And after solving this equation, because I know the value of this Vx equal to 20, so the moment I will solve it, ISC will be equal to 1 minus 1.167 ampere, as it is given over here. So you have to solve it by yourself and get the answer. So just solve this equation, you are going to get the answer. Now the same thing can be solved with the help of superposition theorem. So firstly consider the voltage source and try to find out the one component of current. So this is IAB1. Either I can say IAC1 or IAB1, both are the same thing. So how much will be the IAC1? 20 upon 24. So 20 upon 24. So this is going to be equal to 0.833 ampere. Now here we have to consider the second source, that is the current source. So the moment I will consider the current source, I have to make voltage source as 0. So we have to short circuit it. Now we have 2 ampere current source, and in parallel we have a resistance R1, but in parallel with that we have a short circuit path. So whatever current will come from this side, the whole current will pass through this way. Okay, and that's why the value of this current IAB2 will be equal to minus 2 ampere. So IAB2 is going to be equal to minus 2 ampere. Okay, there will be no role of this resistance R1. Why? Because it has been, this resistance R1 has been short circuited by this wire which is connected between A and B. So how much will be the net current? So summation of IAB1 and IAB2, algebraic summation, and so the answer will be equal to minus 1.167 ampere. Now the second step is to calculate the Norton's resistance. So Norton resistance will be, how we can it will be calculated. So it is very simple, since there is no dependent source, so easily we can find out it. Remove the load. We have to remove the load. Give the terminal name A and B. Nullify all the sources, independent sources. So this voltage source will be short circuited to make it 0, and this current source will be made open circuit to make it 0. And now if I will see from this side, the value of resistance will be equal to 24 ohm. Okay, so finally this will be the equivalent Norton equivalent circuit, and this is the actual load which we have. Now why the direction of this current source is downside? Because we got the value of IN equal to minus 1.167 ampere. Okay, so how much will be the load current? Apply the current division rule. Here we have a current source, and we have 2 resistors connected in parallel. So we have to find out the current through this resistor. So at the top write this one, then add both the resistors and then multiply with the current value. So this is going to be equal to 0.7, and what will be the actual direction? The direction of this current will be upward. So by this way we can easily solve the Norton equivalent circuit based numericals. So what is the correlation between Thevenin theorem and Norton theorem? Actually both are dual to each other. What is the meaning of dual to each other? If I know the Thevenin equivalent circuit, I can easily convert that into Norton. Okay, because the value of resistance will remain same. Okay, and if I know ETH, I can find out IN. IN will be equal to ETH upon RN, and if I know IN, I can easily find out ETH. ETH will be equal to IN multiplied with RN. Okay, so this is the source transformation. If I will transfer the voltage source with series resistance, I can easily get current source with parallel resistance, and current source with parallel resistance can easily be converted into voltage source with the series resistance. So we'll stop over here. This is the ETH IN, and in the next lecture we'll go through calculation of RTH or RN in case of dependent sources. Thank you.